1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everyone out there in Mandolin land, Mike heading here, coming to you today with the old tune Cluck Old Hen in the key of A. I did this song for banjo last week and I thought it'd be fun to do a mandolin version. We're going to stay pretty strictly in the beginner realm for this one, but we're going to do 3 solos. So it's not that long of a song, so I thought it'd be good to do a couple different solos. We're going to start with just the absolute single note melody, the kind of the most basic version you can kind of play of the song. And then we're going to look at building upon that. So for the second solo, we're going to add more alternate picking. Add this kind of down, down, up, shuffle rhythm. We're going to embed that into our picking, which adds a really cool underlying rhythm to the solo. So that's what we're going to do for the second solo. And then for the solo 3, we're going to add some bluegrass ornaments. We're going to add some basic slides, add a little more picking. Again, keep it in the beginner realm, but add kind of some basic bluegrass ornaments, all right? I'll break down all 3 solos note for note, just like I played at the beginning of the video, and then we'll do some easy backup. So the chords are super easy, just A and E for the song, but we'll go over a couple different spots. You can play those on the mandolin. All right, let's start breaking down Cluck Old Hen in the key of A. Here we go. All right, so let's start breaking down this first solo to Cluck Old Hen in the key of A. We're gonna start with a super basic version, just the simplest version of the melody possible. So this melody is kind of in phrases of 4 measures. So that's what I recommend, learning it in 4 measure sections. I think that'll help it make the most sense. And what's nice is each 4 measure section actually repeats twice. So if you learn the first 4 measures of the A part, you've got 50% of the song already down. So let's start breaking it down. Here we go. All right, so here's the first 4 measures. That a few times. I'll do it really slow. And a little faster. Okay, like I said, if we learn these first 4 measures, we've got 50% of the basic tune down. So that's kind of nice. So we're going to use lots of 5th frets and 3rd frets on the A and E strings. So the high 2 strings, 3rd frets and 5th frets and opens are really going to be all of the notes we're using in this basic version. For all the 3rd frets, I'm going to use my middle finger, and all the 5th frets, I'm going to use my ring finger, okay? So we're going to start with a little melody. We're going to play the open high E string, and then the 5th fret, like I said, with your ring finger, and then the 3rd fret. So take your ring finger off and then put your middle finger on the 3rd fret. And the counting is going to be 2 quarter notes followed by a half note. So we're in 4/4 time. We have 4 quarter notes per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. A half note is 2 quarter notes. So you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're having trouble playing that half note, what you can do is play the 3rd fret twice to kind of keep that rhythm of the quarter notes going, and then just take out, don't actually hit the string. Like that, right? Or like I said, just count it out loud. And then we're going to play a similar line, same rhythm, open high E string, 5th fret on the high E, and then you're going to quick jump to the 5th fret of the A string. So you kind of take your ring finger off or kind of roll it to the A string from the E string. So let's practice that. It's a little tricky. You got to move quick. So you have... And it's okay to cut off that 5th fret on the E string a little bit. You kind of have to get to the next note. Same counting though is measured 1. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's play those first 2 measures together. Not too hard. You could just loop it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's good practice. Just get some good tone out of your mandolin there. And then we're going to play a little ending response lick. Back to the high E string. We're going to play open and 5 again. So similar line. And then 3rd fret. Now back to the 5th fret. So that's all quarter notes. You have... Kind of similar to the melody, the opening melody to Clinch Mountain Backstep, if you've ever played that song. The other thing you want to do there is when you're playing that open 5, 3, so see how I'm going back to this 5th fret? Resist the urge to lift up your middle finger. You're going to be creating more work for yourself. Keep that finger down. So it's a good habit to get into of not lifting your fingers up unnecessarily. So and then right here we're going to do our first upstroke. We're going to hit a downstroke on the high E string open. And then put your ring finger quick on the 5th fret of the A string and do an upstroke with your right hand. And then 3rd fret downstroke on the A string. And then open A string downstroke. So you have... So it sounds like this. And we're doing an upstroke there because we're playing 8th notes. 1 and 2, 3. So on the ands, we do upstrokes. On the up beats, upstrokes. So we're going to go 1 and 2, and then a half note, 3, 4 is how the timing works out. Really important you do an upstroke on that 5th fret on the A string. It's down, up, down, down. That's going to help you play the timing correctly. So those last measures 3 and 4 sound like this. Okay, so that's essentially the whole A part. Like I said, we just repeat those 4 measures, and we'll go over that in a second. But let's play those first 4 measures. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now measures 5 through 8 are exactly the same, so we play that exact same melody. Probably the trickiest part is just making sure you play a half note at the end of measure 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and then we come in on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So what I'd recommend is just count it out loud like I'm doing. I believe if you can count it, you can play it. So it's really going to help your confidence. If you count it out loud, you're going to hear that rhythm. you're naturally going to kind of link up your right hand with that rhythm. One more time. All right, that's the A part. Now let's look at the B part. We're going to start on the A string. We're going to play the open A string twice, and then the 3rd fret on the A string for a half note. Same rhythm as the opening melody line. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the half note. So 2 quarter notes followed by a half note. And then we're going to play the open A string twice again, and down to the 5th fret on the D string. So that sounds like this. All downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a little response line. Open, open on the A string. And then 3rd fret, 5th fret. And then we basically do that ending lick from the A part. So that sounds like this. What I want you to practice is keeping those notes on the A string down. Watch, because I do this. I go right up the notes and then right back down them, right? So don't do this, where I lift them up. Now I have to find those notes again. So you're making a lot more work for yourself if I take everything off and then have to just put it right back down where I just had my fingers. The other reason why that's important is if you keep your fingers down on the A string, it's going to naturally make you have the correct angle of your wrist so you can get that E string to ring out, right? If your wrist isn't at the correct angle, you won't be able to play that. So that's a good practice because it kind of forces you to test your angle of your wrist. Okay, so that's the whole B part. Not too hard, right? We go. So that's the part where you're saying Cluck Old Hen. There's lyrics actually to this B part, or I call it the B part. It's also maybe called the chorus. But we're basically saying Cluck Old Hen. And then we repeat that. The B part is just like the A part. It's 2 sections, 4 measures long each. So if you get the first 4 measures of the B part, you've got the whole B part down essentially. Repeat. And then we'd be back into either the second solo, or you could go back up and play the basic melody again. All right, so not too hard. I think you'll be able to get that with some practice. What I would work on if you're a beginner is, like I said, keeping your left hand down and don't lift your fingers up unnecessarily. And then with your right hand, work on picking both pairs of strings. You know, so when I'm hitting the A string, I'm hitting both of the A strings cleanly all the way through. You don't want to hear each individual string. You want to pick through them strong enough that it sounds like one. But I'm still playing both of them. That's important. That's good practice. If you only hit one of the pairs, you're getting essentially half your volume. So it's really good technique practice, is hitting both pairs of strings. Okay, so that's what I'd work on. And then I just work on counting carefully.